barely see my face if I scoot over here. There's never any good lighting here, I apologize, but you can at least see part of me. Hold on, if there's, what about, no, that's worse. What about here? No, maybe. That barely did anything. No, well, maybe if there's a lighter source from the screen, you can get a better source from me. There's never any light sources in front of my TV. Funny enough, even though I'm like, what, 2 feet, 5 feet away from it, like, it's very strange how that works. But anyways, what's up, guys? We're live. I'm pretty darn sure. CeeLo, Spider-Man 2K20, M64 Bros, Ademi T67, Iceblade, TF Anime, Chris Martinez, Ruben Silva. What's up, guys? How's it going? Happy Friday. Yes, finally, it is close to, if not the weekend, I would say. And pretty much, I would also like to iterate, most likely, of being summer vacation. If you guys are still in school, or doing assignments, or have dealt with massive, work through the past semester, like I have actually gone through during my time currently attending CCSF, which is the City College of San Francisco, attempting to acquire a certificate of content creation and multimedia internet certification. Like, it's a very, very odd title for the certificate that I'm trying to obtain, but pretty much what I'm trying to say is I passed the semester with flying colors. Great. I'm not really anything to, excited about because it's a class, or I took classes that I'm not really fond of just to get this certificate. I finished the semester, but I still have another semester planned for this summer, so it's not summer school, but I do want to kind of get credits over the summer while making progress, and also doing videos in the meantime, which, by the way, I will be doing a video about the ladder news of this stream in a separate discussion. So for the Marvel game stuff, that's pretty darn massive, so I will make a video about it. Probably, I'll make a video about it today, but then I will upload it tomorrow, So I'll probably record it later, edit it today, make sure it's rendered by tonight, and then upload it the day after. So it'll be fun. We kind of expected this to happen. If you're obviously in the same type of realm as I am, more excited for the games than the movies, because for Spider-Man No Way Home,
you call me.
Yeah, we're gonna get into it, but for the games, that's where I think, which is always funny. Before I just want to check the stream is running properly and make sure that the comments and you can hear me, which I think you can. I love how the movies for Marvel, no matter what it is, regardless if it's Spider-Man or not, but if it's just like something with the Avengers, like the Eternals movie trailer that we saw recently. I think we also saw, what was it? It was Loki, the Loki trailer, I think, for the show. A lot of weird stuff is going on there, and some people are excited or not, and they kind of like, well, how does this affect the timeline of the MCU, and Spider-Man No Way Home, and all this stuff with the multiverse, what's going on? I don't know. All this, discord, like all this, kind of like speculation and theorization and kind of, tenseness in the movie realm. But for the games, I love how every time when besides I guess for the Square Enix stuff, but mainly every time there's like Insomniac games, Marvel games, Spider-Man PS4, Miles Morales, we always get as a community hyped together like, yes, new game, new suit, new story, new DLC, new trailer, new, Ben Jordan teases stuff on Instagram, Najee Jeter teases stuff on Instagram, whatever, a slight tease it could be, we all significantly get hyped because we love the game so much. And that's what I love about the community that we formed here, and just how beloved those games are amongst people. So let me see really quick. I also want to bring my water closer to me, since I will most likely get parched while doing this. Again, happy Friday. Welcome to everyone in the stream whose name I missed. Mystical Gods, Moritaka Ishida, Fidel, Idrissi, Ironmark 3000, Gil _ AA7, Kyle P. Riles, Resident Evil Player. What's up, you guys? Sorry if I missed anyone in the stream. Leave a like if you're just tuning in and just feeling generous today. I would appreciate it. Why not? I never like to do that whole YouTuber thing, like leave a like, subscribe, but I guess people forget sometimes, and I do notice that even for myself when I'm watching a YouTube video, I mainly watch, like, in the meantime when I'm not doing videos myself, I watch, like, commentary channels or podcast type stuff, like Angry Joe Show or Pretty Much It, which is probably my favorite YouTuber group out there, is Pretty Much It. They are hilarious. Even when I watch their videos, I sometimes forget to like or comment. So it's like I liked watching it, but I for some reason forgot that extra step of liking it. So leave a like if you are so inclined. I'm not forcing you to, but I would graciously appreciate it. Yes, we are live. I do see it on my subscription feed. My boy Franco Greco's in here too, of course. And yes, I know it's not Spider-Man, but we are playing Genshin Impact again because we've already 100%ed Spider-Man PS4 and Miles Morales. We already played the Red Room for Avengers. There's no way I'm going back to that game. Sorry. Until they obviously include Black Panther. Yes, Link Hero Hyrule. This is Genshin Impact because I don't want to play those other games that I just mentioned. And I do want to grind. I am going to be grinding through some of these bosses and levels to try and rank up my characters and their weapons. Because it's fun, and it's free, and it reminds me of Breath of the Wild, which is a great game. But mainly it's a fun game in itself. Okay, so we are live. Links are shared. It's on Twitter. 47 people in the chat. What's up, guys? Hopefully you're having a great Friday. Alright, so we've been streaming for 6 minutes. I think we've waited long enough. Alright, so news breakdown today. If you have not seen, usually I do like to kind of check things on Twitter first before, you know, I decide, like, well, there isn't really a whole lot of news to go over, and, well, this is a rumor, so it's not real. No, this is pretty much news at this point, because this does come from various credible sources. It's not just someone pulled out of their ass, and it's like, this is possibly a random fan fiction theory that sounds legitimate. No, this is actually based off of several sources from Collider, and Movie Scope, and DR Movie News, and Discussing Film, and you know, all these different sources that do have insiders in the film industry that are able to iterate and indicate if something is correct or incorrect for journalist-type sites. Ethan Casilla, what's up, my boy? Edge of Time is underrated, confirmed. Bro, what are we doing here? Come on. No, I saw last time you wanted the Edge of Time remaster. Please, bro. How to Hurt Me in 2 seconds is saying that either Edge of Time is Game of the Year quality or that Edge of Time deserves more attention than Shattered Dimensions. Like, how could you do this, bro? But everyone go follow and subscribe to... I think Ethan has a YouTube channel, but I know Ethan definitely has a Twitter page, so definitely go support him as much as you can. He is fantastic. His artwork never ceases to amaze, and he's always getting even more talented by each single day because he is a genius on the page. But yes, this news, mainly what I'm reading from, is coming from DR Movie News and also MCU Direct, but mainly this is an instance I do want to refer to DR Movie News, who does follow me, actually, which is very kind and cool from them to do that, saying, take this rumor, I think it's news at this point, although I've been hearing similar things, but Collider, which is a very reliable source, reports that Willem Dafoe, Stormin' Norman himself from the Tobey movies, will be the main villain in Spider-Man No Way Home. Norman Osborn will supposedly lead the Sinister Six, starring Dr. Octopus, who is confirmed and is confirmed to be the same version of Doc Ock from the Raimi movies back to in this movie, which is already stupid in itself. So that's 2, Doc Ock and Green Goblin, Electro, Jamie Foxx, whether or not that is the same version of Electro from the Amazing Spider-Man 2 or not is still undetermined for right now. Sandman, the Lizard, and Rhino, who are most likely from the Amazing Spider-Man movies. So, again, at this point, it just sounds like fan fiction to me. Like, I don't really know what to think about any of that, honestly. Like, yes, the multiverse exists because we saw it in Doctor Strange, talking to the Ancient One and also kind of getting that training. And she's also, in Endgame, explaining to Hulk during the Battle of New York sequence about how to separate the stones from their timelines, because then they all kind of shift apart. And then, like, well, it's not necessarily that you're going back in time to, like, Back to the Future-wise, like, whatever affects the past affects the future. No, it's that you're actually going to a completely different timeline, a different universe where things happen differently. That's why we're seeing the Loki show, because Loki in Endgame did not get taken back to Asgard. He escaped with the Tesseract, and then he's going to do that whole thing with, wow, Owen Wilson, which I'm actually low-key excited about because I love Owen Wilson, and seeing him in a Marvel thing is actually kind of awesome. And the Disney Plus shows have been relatively good with, you know, Captain America and Winter Soldier, or Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I should say, and WandaVision. WandaVision was, you know, kind of for me, but I did actually like the majority of Falcon and Winter Soldier. And Loki seems fine. Like, Owen Wilson's there, so you can't go wrong. But that stuff is what we're dealing with multiverse aesthetics. It's already kind of being set, you know, in stone. Like, it's not like, oh, this is a weird thing and it'll never happen, but it exists. And also, Mysterio lied about it in Far From Home, but it was actually still a real thing. It's just that he tried to make up a story to utilize the quote-unquote multiverse to make people think he was an interdimensional hero. Whatever, you've seen the movies, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm not trying to do a whole recap of it, but with this stuff, again, and this is already confirmed from John Watts, you know, the amazing director himself, which I totally don't say sarcastically, is that, oh, you know, he's in talks with Alfred Molina to bring him back as Doc Ock. What does that mean? Oh, well, I thought I died at the end of Spider-Man 2, which he did. He freaking drowned. So, oh, you know, Alfred, best Doc Ock, you know, arguably in live action, and just, you know, if you don't like the PS4 version, then the best Doc Ock of all time. You know, Alfred, whatever, like, in a comic book movie, people don't really die. You know, there's no stakes, there's no growth, there's no development, there's no intrigue, there's just comic book villain, go burr, and that's it, and then you call it a day, right? Because that's exactly what Thanos was in Avengers Infinity War. He was totally just a mustache-twirling villain, and not actually someone with a lot of depth and characterization to his you know, arc, you could say, in a way. Like, he did have an arc of sorts, just kind of going for his goal of wiping out half the universe, and then he died because he fulfilled his destiny, he says. And then he pretty much came back, which was his past self in Endgame, where he's like, you've shown me the error of my ways. Instead of taking out half of the universe, I'll literally kill everyone and just start from scratch. So and then he just died because Tony did the snap, and he sacrificed himself. And it was a great arc, mainly for Tony also being you know, that whole thing from the first Avengers movie to Endgame, where he has this development of he's kind of selfish, and he doesn't play well with others, but he's also very self-centered in that way because that's kind of the only life he's known. So working with a team and willing to sacrifice himself in a way that will make sure everyone else gets out of there in one piece was a very cool narrative, and I really love the Iron Man character in the MCU. I just hate how Spider-Man is affected by him so much, and he's bogged down. He keeps getting bogged down consistently by Iron Man's character and presence in the MCU, which I find excruciatingly painful to watch on screen. Like, please, Mr. Stark, I gotta live up to the great Iron Man. Like, no! And he learned that lesson, like, twice. First in Homecoming and second in Far From Home. Like, no, don't be Iron Man. Be Spider-Man. Like, okay. And they keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. And now here, the problem is, it, again, sounds like fan fiction on crack. Like, there's no backing up factors from, like, if you watched Homecoming, well, okay, if you watch Civil War, Homecoming, Infinity War, Endgame, and Far From Home back to back to back, and just, you know, watch those movies for how they were, telling, you know, either, you know, solo Spider-Man stories and his own standalone movies, or his inclusion in the team of the Avengers, just taking out Thanos and trying to, you know, stop the Infinity Gauntlet from snapping and the stones and all that, and trying to take out Thanos. Not once was there ever any indication that in the next movie they're going to bring in the multiverse, that they're going to bring in Toby, that they're going to bring in Andrew, that they're going to bring in Alfred Molina, that they're going to bring in Willem Dafoe as Norman Osborn. None of that was set up at all, unlike, you know, the Toby movies, where they didn't have the luxury of post-credit scenes because they didn't have, like, the Marvel formula at the time. That was back when the MCU did not exist, when the Toby movies came out, and they just made movies. with villains. You know, just, oh, here's a story with, Green Goblin in the first movie, which is still my favorite Spider-Man movie of all time. The first one, 2002. And at the end of that movie, they didn't have a teaser of Otto Octavius and the arms and the fusion reactor and all that. No, because they just told a singular story. The story had a beginning, middle, and end, and that was it. And then they just started a completely new story that followed up in the sequel with Otto and his own arc and his narrative, which should not be tampered with. Again, he shouldn't be back and resurrected into No Way Home. Really stupid. And it was a solid narrative that made sense. So with this, there's no build-up, there's no actual narrative that logically connects with the previous films. It's just that what I'm seeing this as, and I still think this is exactly the case, Into the Spider-Verse was fantastic. It was a great movie. It didn't sell as well because it's an animated, like sell as well meaning it didn't do as well in the box office because it's an animated movie compared to live action. Far From Home made $1 billion. Mainly, I would still say due to Spider-Man's inclusion in Endgame. You know, he had the Endgame effect where that movie was so massive and did gangbusters that, and it was also, Far From Home was the final installment of the third phase, Marvel's Phase 3 in their movie lineup. So if it's ending off with a bang, especially with Spider-Man, a hugely popular character, it continues off the events of Endgame. Tom Holland also gets some growth, and he fights Mysterio, a well-known, Spider-Man villain. Of course, that makes the most sense. It's going to make $1 billion, and it did. And Into the Spider-Verse came out before that, but it was focusing on Miles, who isn't as well known as Peter. He's a great character, but let's face it, Peter's been around longer in the comics. That's just a fact. And he also has a lot more marketing traction compared to Miles Morales, which is why you see, of course, I hate to keep comparing them and bring it up, but Spider-Man PS4, Peter, his game, the first, the main initial game, not the remaster, but the PS4 version of Insomniac's Spider-Man game, sold over 20 million copies on one platform, and it is, in fact, $1 billion gaming property. So that is massive. That is a huge success for Marvel and Insomniac, and we're obviously going to get a sequel no matter what, duh. But that's why the Miles game did not, and most likely will not, sell as much as the Peter game, because Peter is just more well-known. When you think of Spider-Man first, you think of Peter Parker first. That's just a fact. So, knowing all those factors, everything I just brought up, Tom Holland is the current Peter Parker in live action. I do think he's a great actor. Watch, I think The Impossible is the name of the movie, and also the one with Robert Pattinson, and he's like a country boy. I forget the name of it. The devil. Something with the devil, No Time for the Devil or whatever. That one, actually, I thought he was pretty good. His accent's a bit strange, but I thought he was fine. In that, Cherry was whatever. I'm not really too big of a fan of Cherry because it's been memed to death, but that's a movie also Tom Holland's in. So there's no disrespect to Tom Holland and his acting capabilities because he delivered... Yeah, thank you, Gherkin, Person, Devil All the Time. Yeah, that was a good one. That was a good one. I would definitely recommend it if you haven't seen it already. So he's a very talented actor. It's just that the narrative, the writing in which Spider-Man is portrayed in these movies is the problem. And I've also done previous live streams with my boys, Franco and Ghosty and Andrew, Spidey Outcast, talking about why the writing is kind of the way it is. Mainly because the writers of the MCU movies have not seen the previous Spider-Man movies. Whatever knowledge would benefit them doing so beats me. Like, I don't know why they would think it would be a bad idea to research other films. Like, I don't know. It's kind of strange. I maybe get it because that way they don't want another incarnation of a character that's, been handled decades ago to affect the modern interpretation of what's happening now. I get it from that perspective, but not even like that. You could just see a movie and then put it off to the side, like, okay, whatever, that I'll move on. Not like I've never seen the movie at all. Like that, that's a bit sus, Among Us wise. That's kind of sus. So the writing in which Peter is portrayed is my biggest problem with the MCU interpretation of Spider-Man, but also with the structure, leading up. Like Homecoming is a movie you could say that had a beginning, middle, and end. However, the ending did set up Infinity War and also Aunt May's realization that Peter is Spider-Man. So there was a big reveal there that just kind of was left untouched, and of course was barely touched upon in Far From Home, with little to no serious character drama or in-depth interaction between Peter and May about the fact that he is this superhero doing these dangerous tasks and fighting aliens and risking his life. No, he just, did you pack your suit? Your Peter tingle working? Like, shoot me now. No thanks. Not a fan of that. So that's just kind of a weird portrayal of how they decide to approach it, because it's young and hip, and obviously Marissa Tomei is a very attractive actress, so compared to Rosemary Harris, who played Aunt May in the Tobey movies, you know, the Raimi movies, it's like, oh, we gotta make her young and cool, make her the norm, so whatever. So, you know, what I'm trying to say is how all of that has no connection to the multiverse, to Alfred Molina's Doc Ock, to Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin, to, you know, the Amazing Spider-Man movie villains with Lizard and Electro, to possibly Sandman, whether or not that's Thomas Hayden Church's Sandman from the Raimi movies or not. I have no freaking idea, because it doesn't make, and that makes even less sense then, because now they put themselves into a corner where if Alfred Molina's Doc Ock is the same Otto Octavius from the Raimi movies, the same exact one who drowned, had a character arc, sacrificed his own life to save Peter and MJ and stop the reactor from malfunctioning again, and then he comes back as a villain. We don't know exactly his narrative inclusion yet in the movie, but most likely he's going to be a villain. Stupid. So, you know, no hints to him, no references, no inclinations that, oh yeah, at the end of Far From Home, when they, you know, showed that Peter's identity was revealed to the public, and now they all know, supposedly, that this kid, Peter Parker, is Spider-Man, because are they going to take Mysterio's, you know, claim at face value, or are they just going to, you know, toss it to the side like nothing's happening? We don't know yet, so that's an interesting front that I'm actually curious to see, because then that could lead to a possible, like, Kraven's Last Hunt situation, or, you know, my buddy Carlos Escobosa, who I've done numerous collaboration videos with in the past. He's a great guy. Follow him on Twitter, Carlos underscore Escobosa on Twitter, and he's a great guy. Made a great point, like, hey, you know that Kraven the Hunter movie that they just announced with Aaron Taylor Johnson? Hey, now that this public hero's identity is out for the entire public, wouldn't it be cool if Kraven the Hunter came in to hunt Spider-Man down and track down Aunt May or Ned or anyone else attending Midtown High to use as leverage against Spider-Man? Like, yes, that would be great. That would be awesome. And also, why not that whole team with the Sinister Six? So to recap, Green Goblin, Doc Ock, Sandman, Lizard, Electro, and Rhino. Did we just forget that Scorpion exists in this movie universe, played by a wonderful actor of Michael Mando from Better Call Saul? He was in Homecoming, Matt Gargan. I don't know, what about Prowler? What about Prowler, played by Childish Gambino? Childish Gambino himself, Donald Glover, is playing Aaron Davis. What a perfect casting choice. Even with Michael Mando, yeah, Voss from Far Cry 3. Great actor, right? Super talented. Why don't they use him? Why aren't they using these characters that they've already established? Why are they doing this multiverse crap? Because it just seems forced. It seems forced, and it doesn't seem genuine. Because, again, they're trying to bank off with the Spider-Verse spectrum of stuff from Into the Spider-Verse. And it's stupid. It's really, really dumb. I don't like that approach they're going for, because it doesn't flesh out Tom's world as much as it could. Like, again, they set up 2 villains. Maybe 3 villains if Vulture returns. Because, again, even weirder, we see Vulture appear at the end of the Morbius trailer with Jared Leto. So why not bring in Morbius if he's in this universe? So I don't know what's going on. They could also try and connect the Tom Hardy stuff with Venom and also Carnage into the MCU if they really want to. I have no freaking idea what they're doing. It's super dumb. This is that was the news slash rumor, right? I think it's mainly news at this point because of everything that we know about the movie so far. Also with Doctor Strange being in the movie, and also possibly Daredevil, and possibly the other live-action Spider people. We don't know. But all that is the news and the rumor. And then I'll get to the comments. Sorry, I just want to kind of get all this news off my chest first. So there's that. And also the... I already mentioned the Kraven the Hunter movie, but there was something else about the film I want to mention with No Way Home. I think we're most likely going to get a trailer soon. That's not what I wanted to bring up, but I think that the likelihood of us receiving a trailer is pretty much 100% confirmed to occur next month in June. Most likely, I think it's pretty safe to say we might get something on June 1st, considering that that is Tom Holland's birthday, and we saw the exact same thing happen with Shang-Chi, with, crap, I forget the actor's name who's playing him. Simu Liu? Simu Liu playing Shang-Chi. The trailer for that movie was released on his birthday. So Tom Holland's birthday is on June 1st. I do think it would be very fitting if they were to reveal a trailer for the movie then, and finally just get the frickin' movie off our plate, so it's like, whatever. Comes out December, Spider-Verse, whatever, fine. Just be a good story, flesh out Tom's Peter Parker, and be a good film. That's all I want. Oh! Fidel Idrissi, $10 donation. Thank you so much. I didn't even see that. Again, that's a total L for me in the chat. I never read because I assume no one really donates. That's kind of a shock. I don't see anything in the comments, but if someone did donate $10, Fidel, if that was you, thank you so much. I genuinely appreciate it. If it was someone else, I didn't see it. Joking, Fidel, you just crushed my soul. Thank you so much for doing that. I genuinely need that today. I very much appreciate it. No. Anyways, but if you guys do feel like donating, feel free to do so. I would appreciate it, but you don't have to. Anyways, but yeah, news with the Sinister Six joining No Way Home, led by Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin, in a Spider-Verse slash multiverse type stuff. Sounds ridiculously stupid to me. I don't understand where they're going with the narrative. Nothing of the sort was set up in Far From Home. Like I previously said, the ending of that movie was where Peter's identity got revealed by J. Jonah Jameson, played by J.K. Simmons. And that could have led into a possible, crazy enough, one more day situation. Which I beg to God never happens. Someone also mentioned, funny enough, not in the comments here, but in one of my tweets, that, like, what if they just did Spider-Man Reign, but in live action? Like, get the hell out. Get the hell out. No. Like, any of you guys know that comic Spider-Man Reign, R-E-I-G-N, which is pretty much the Marvel equivalent of what they tried to make it is Batman, The Dark Knight Returns for Spider-Man? Oh my God, no. Please, God, no. I'm like, get the hell out right now. Don't you dare bring that into Spider-Man. Whether or not that's for the MCU or animated form, even the games. Like, I've even seen people say, like, oh, I want Spider-Man 2 from Insomniac to be Spider-Verse. I'm like, please, no. Keep it in the same base universe, the 1048 universe, the Earth 1048 universe that they've already been making. I don't want to see any dumb, multiverse narrative for the sequel. I don't think we're getting that regardless, because guess what? It wasn't teased. The entire point of my thing is, like, was the multiverse teased at the end of Miles Morales? No. Was the return of Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man and Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man and the MCU Tom Holland's Spider-Man, were they teased to be included in Marvel's Spider-Man 2, the game? I don't freaking think so, because of course not, because they're sticking with the narrative that they set up, which we saw. We saw the post-credit scene with Harry in the tank with the symbiote on, Norman Osborn getting a bit more, cuckoo, possibly going towards the Green Goblin route of things, which is awesome. Lizard, Kirk Connors is teased at the end of Miles Morales, so we're going to see the Lizard. 3 villains pretty much confirmed already. The Lizard, Green Goblin, and Venom, or possibly they might save Green Goblin for the 3rd game if they want to do that. And also Wraith, Yuri Watanabe as the Wraith, as a side villain, or as an antagonist of sorts. That would be fantastic. But yeah, anything like that, it makes logistic sense for something like that to occur. For a narrative that is structurally sound and just flows properly into the story that they're telling. So with No Way Home, again, I need to see a trailer for me to have any official, flat-out, direct criticism for the film as a whole, as it stands as a full product. But at the same time, based on the news reports that we have officially received from Alfred Molina and the director himself, John Watts, we can at least come to a conclusion of sorts of where the movie is going. And right now, currently, I'm not a fan. Which I also hate the argument from people where they're like, oh, you can't hate on a movie or a game right now because you haven't even seen a trailer. It's like, there's literally the exact same thing happening in the opposite way, where we haven't seen a trailer at all for No Way Home, but you're excited for it. So why can't I be critical and cautious towards it, So it's that logic that kind of, is a bit of a loophole that doesn't make sense. But yeah, I find that very strange in itself. So that was the No Way Home news. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section in the live stream. Are you excited for No Way Home? Do you just want to wait until we get a trailer and stop with the dumb rumors? Because I certainly want to. This just seems more like legitimate info about the film that we're currently building up as the weeks go by. But just like I did with Venom Let There Be Carnage, I knew what to expect from the trailer pretty much. Like based off the first movie, like it's going to be dumb action fun, like the first film, but with carnage. And I'm like, well, I didn't want that. I wanted an R-rated, dark, gritty, very intense Venom movie in the same type of spectrum like what we saw from Venom in Web of Shadows or Ultimate Spider-Man the game in movie form. But we never got that, and it's just the movie for what it is, like whatever. So if No Way Home ends up being a multiverse movie with the other Spideys and Toby's back and Andrew's back, then it's like whatever. It is what it is. So I'll just be cautious. I'll be critical for sure if I like it, if I dislike it, but I'll also be enthusiastic if I do like it. So I'm just playing at the current impasse with what we have now. Yeah. So that was the No Way Home news. Enough with the MCU Spidey, because of course we don't care about it as much as the games. I also have no idea what's going on here with the Hilly Churl and Elon Musk. Which is so funny because it's like Elon Musk. Let's see. We have to go somewhere, I think. Oh, he already gave us a location. All right, so that was the movie news. So now for the games. Of course, the games. Leave a like, by the way. If you're just tuning in, welcome. I'm playing, I'm live streaming. I'm grinding through Genshin Impact, which is a fun, live service brawler game. Much better than Marvel's Avengers. I personally think so. While talking about Spider-Man news, No Way Home, and also some exciting Marvel Games updates, which is pretty much confirmed by a very important developer from Marvel Games themselves, of Eric Monticelli, who is the director of production at Marvel Games. And this is not like a tease or a rumor or a speculation or like the previous day. If you saw, I did a video about the leak/rumor about the Guardians of the Galaxy game developed by Eidos Montreal, published by Square Enix. That is indeed happening. It's not officially confirmed by Marvel Games yet, but it is has been leaked for a few years now, and a gaming insider of Jeff Grubb did report that the game is in fact in the works. It does exist, and it hopefully might be revealed during E3, but that was still a leak. That wasn't anything official from Marvel Games, obviously, because they're saving that for a surprise if it does exist. But from Eric Monticelli himself, again, the director of production at Marvel Games, he said that Marvel Games has some very exciting things in the works. They're working on things every day of every hour of every minute. And specifically for this year of 2021, there are some very intriguing and exciting digital showcases, wink wink, happening relatively soon. Of course, being E3 and Summer Games Fest, cough cough. And he says, we can safely confirm that we have some very exciting reveals and teases and announcements in the works for those events. So, holy shoot. So Marvel Games confirmed in one way or another to be appearing at either E3 or Summer Games Fest, or maybe, big maybe, calm down everyone, but still a big maybe if PlayStation has a state of play during E3, and if Marvel is there, that could mean either one of two things, actually. First off is, Marvel Spider-Man 2. I don't know. That'd be literally insane. Insomniac would genuinely be wizards from another dimension if they're able to pull that off right after releasing Ratchet & Clank and then immediately showing Spider-Man 2. I have no idea, but I think another likely scenario is if PlayStation has a state of play during the E3 time period, then we could see Spider-Man for Avengers be revealed in a trailer, which obviously I know everyone in the comments is saying, big sigh right now, because no one wants that. Meaning like a couple reasons why no one wants that. One, if we want to see Spider-Man, we obviously want to see the Insomniac version for their game and the sequel. Of course, with what the story is going to include for Harry and, again, Norman and Peter and Miles both being Spider-Man, and Mary Jane and her inclusion in the narrative, and possibly, I beg, if Insomniac's listening, please, if you can do this, the return of Felicia Hardy as Black Cat and making her playable, heart racing if that ever happens. I would be in awe if they were to do that. So yes, Marvel Games essentially confirmed one way or another for either E3 or Summer Games Fest, and I did bring this up in a video yesterday or a couple days ago about the Guardians game, where I said if Square Enix is in this multi-year, multi-game partnership with Marvel Games, and they want to have Marvel Games have a presence during E3, then they could show one of three things. First off is obviously a Black Panther gameplay trailer for Avengers. So we saw the reveal trailer for the Wakanda biome, a little quick glimpse of it in action, and the Black Panther suit, which in my opinion actually does look really darn good. It's just that it's sadly placed in this game with Marvel's Avengers kind of being a bit So there's that. So again, a Black Panther gameplay reveal could be cool. That's a game, though, we already know exists, and we know in the roadmap is coming out in summer and beyond, so that could be either August or September within the current roadmap. Again, option 2 is a Spider-Man gameplay reveal for Avengers, so the PlayStation exclusive Marvel character, only on that one platform for Marvel's Avengers. But seeing that he is only an exclusive character on one platform, would they then reveal both? Would they reveal both Black Panther for multi-platform and then Spider-Man for the exclusive platform for PlayStation? I don't necessarily know. I'm not sure how that would work. But if we end up getting both, that'd be great. And then, of course, the third final possibility, which, if it happens, I would actually be legitimately shocked. I would probably piss my pants. Like, there's no way they do this. Like, Spider-Man 2, full reveal of the sequel, set to release sometime late 2022, PS5 exclusive, and a tease of the symbiote. You know, we see advanced black suit Spider-Man. I would cry, because again, I've said numerous times that the black suit is my favorite type of narrative storyline relating to Spider-Man and his character, and seeing all the possible implications that Insomniac could do for the game universe and what that could mean for the symbiote, and again, Peter's connection with Harry and Miles and all that stuff going forward. It would be nuts. It would be absolutely crazy. So I would be totally down for any reveal, or possibly, you know, out of left field. I don't, you know, because Ed Boon likes to tweet and tease and troll all the time, so I never really take what he says at face value. But I know there's that massive tease, rumor, leak, whatever it is, of the Marvel Netherrealm fighting game. You know, Marvel versus DC or whatever it is, or just Marvel's Injustice, pretty much. They could do that, too. Who knows? They could finally show that off if they end up doing something like that that's real. So, for me, though, that would probably be the game I would be least excited for, because A, I suck at all fighting games, and B, I am primarily not good at all with the Netherrealm fighting games. I suck at Mortal Kombat, I suck at Injustice, even 2D fighting games in general I'm not good at, and putting, like, even Marvel vs. Capcom, no, I'm not good at those games at all. Even you would think, oh, it's Marvel, so, you know, I would play it regardless, which I have, but I'm not a fan of those games, because I'm just not good at fighting games. So those aren't really the type of game that I would personally be interested in playing. So if we get a reveal for that, I mean, exciting for all you fighting game fans out there, but I'm more the third-person, action-adventure, single-player storyline, AAA experience like that, like Spider-Man PS4, or God of War, or Horizon Zero Dawn, or Persona 5, all these games with great stories and maybe an explorable open world like Genshin Impact or Spider-Man again. So I'm down for that. 110%. Another game, pulling it out my hat here for Marvel that we could see is what I would love to see, because it's been teased several times, mainly from Troy Baker, voice actor supreme Troy Baker, and also a person who plays a Marvel character currently of Bruce Banner, is a Daredevil game. Please, God, for the love of God, someone at Marvel, make Troy Baker's dream come true, because he's been saying for ages that with Bill Roseman he wants to make a Daredevil game and he wants to play Matt Murdock, and Troy Baker would be perfect. Making a single player action adventure oriented type of game like Spider-Man but for Daredevil would be great. I know for a fact it would instantly outsell the numbers that a game like Avengers did, because it wouldn't be in the same type of realm of a live service looter shooter. And just having really interesting combat and a great story is what matters most. Yes, so that would be sick. Either one of those games, and just if you're a fan of Marvel games in general, this is a pretty exciting time. So, in the comments, let me know in the live stream, let me know what Marvel game besides Spider-Man 2. So don't even bring up Marvel Spider-Man 2, because I know for a fact all of you are excited. I'm excited for sure. What other Marvel game besides Marvel Spider-Man 2 would you like to see be revealed from Marvel games during E3 or Summer Games Fest or a PlayStation State of Play or anything like that? Again, a great game, which not a lot of people played, but I think is fantastic, is actually Iron Man VR. I loved playing that when I first got it. For my VR at home, but I did, first play it at Comic-Con when they had demos out for the game, public booths to try out the VR controls and stuff like that. And I tried it. Like, this is phenomenal, because you move the PlayStation Move controllers in the way that you would fly as Iron Man. Down, you fly up, because Iron Man is like pushing off the ground. If you push forward, you'll then go backward, because he's like flying back. If you push backward, you'll fly forward, because that's like Iron Man in the movies. Very smart, very, very smart developers from Camouflage. Sadly, it's not like a massive AAA game like Spider-Man PS4, obviously, but for a VR game, really specializing in one solid factor for the game with a character like Iron Man in the VR realm is really good. Oh, someone said the Moritaka Ishida, the game audio is a little too loud. Yeah, I noticed that in my previous streams too. Let me see. Okay, good, there is audio. So let's do decrease here. I can increase it afterwards. Sorry, thank you, Moritaka Ishida, for pointing that out. I'll do 6 for each. Let's see. Great, Paimon, great. Great. And also a message with probably some currency. Great. Survey. No, but I will take the Mora. Excellent. Sorry. All right. Hopefully you guys can hear me better now. I haven't really doing anything all that significant in the game, just grinding and beating up enemies and doing side missions, but hopefully you can hear me better. I apologize if you couldn't hear me before, but basically I went over the news for No Way Home. Pretty much just kind of be like, whatever happens, happens, but I'm not currently too excited about what No Way Home is describing for the movie. And then Marvel Games, again, confirmed to be attending E3 2021. Very exciting, or, well, I should say that they are confirmed to be attending some digital showcase event in 2021. Is that E3? Is that Summer Games Fest? Is that a PlayStation State of Play? Is that maybe a Nintendo Direct? Whatever happens, we don't know, but for some instance, Marvel Games will indeed be appearing one way or another during one of these conventions, which I'm very excited about. I love Marvel Games. I'm not a fan of how some of the games turned out, mainly Avengers, but I love seeing Marvel characters be interpreted within the video game format, which again is my personal favorite type of entertainment out there. Not movies, not TV shows, not cartoons, but video games. Video games are #1 for me, and Marvel is top tier when it comes to their characters, and seeing them be made into video games is a treat in and of itself. So that's great. David Ramirez, I would love to see a AAA Captain America game. So like, yeah, like a better version pretty much of like Captain America Super Soldier. I would be down. I would be very down for that. I think that's a great idea. And I hate like the description that they tried to say for Marvel's Avengers, which again is like flat out false marketing. Like, oh, you know, if you just play as one character, it'll feel like a Black Widow game, or it'll feel like an Iron Man game. It's like, no, it wouldn't, because the story is not around Iron Man. It's not around Black Widow. It's about Kamala Khan and reassembling the Avengers. You don't really get to spend a whole lot of time with the group as a whole, and even as individuals, because you trying to quickly go through it so fast just to get them back on the team, which is why Spider-Man, you know, the Insomniac games are so good, because we get a whole fleshed out story with Peter, with Miles, even with the side characters, with Otto, with Rio Morales, with Aunt May, with Martin Lee, with, you know, hell, even Gloria from Feast, you know, the Feast Shelter. All that great stuff really drives the narrative forward and makes you as the player care about the world and its characters. So that's why when the story should serve the characters instead of the characters serving the story. You know, like, oh, the Avengers are there just to be there, whatever. Like, no, you know, Steve Rogers is very conflicted with A-Day, and he's very traumatized after what happened, and he feels like he let the world down. No, it's like, hey, Cap, it's good to have you back from space. Let's go fight this big-brained idiot, MODOK. Okay, gotcha. And then that's it. Like, well, it's kind of stupid. So, you know, whatever that was, it was what it was. But yeah, you know, a David Ramirez AAA solo adventure Captain America game would be great. I would be totally down for that, for sure. You know, same thing with, like, again, Daredevil is a great pick for a solo character. Like, again, which Marvel character could get their own solo game? Daredevil for sure, Captain America, a plethora of Spider-Man games already exist. We already got Hulk, Ultimate Destruction, a fantastic game. And I would love to see Punisher. I think Punisher, not restricted by a T rating, would be great. Shank Boy, what's up, Evan? Big fan of your content. Thank you so much, dude. I very much appreciate it. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Hopefully you're enjoying the recent videos, and I will do more videos down the line about the upcoming Marvel game announcements. So I'm very excited for that, and what will happen with that is going to be interesting to see. So we're going to try and find this hilly trail right now. The wonderful time from lunch just before sunset. So that's the afternoon. And we're going to go here. Okay, but then I'm going to change the time. All right, so, yeah, Sensei Parker, Black Panther solo game. Yeah, I could see that. That'd be cool. And, I really hope that they utilize T'Challa in the best way possible for Avengers. But, again, would you rather have Black Panther be a DLC character in a game like Avengers, or would you rather have a solo outing, AAA, Miles Morales-esque length individual title solely focused on Black Panther himself? I would take that in a heartbeat. I would take that over anything. Like, that's, again, that is like the equivalent of saying I would rather play as Spider-Man in Ultimate Alliance 3 versus Spider-Man in Marvel's Spider-Man on PS4. Like, it's not even a contest, you know? Like, he's just an additional character in that game, but it's not his own game, right? So, Spider-Man PS4 does a great job of servicing the story for the character in a very unique and insightful way. And if they can do that again with Black Panther or Daredevil or Punisher, I would be totally down for that. Slimy Smile Face says a Fantastic Four game. That'd be cool. I would like to see it. We haven't really received a Fantastic Four game in that quality for quite some time now. So I'd be very curious to see exactly how that turns out. So there's this punk right here. Oh, man. And see, this is how an event is done. Limited time bosses, cool engaging side content, a wide variety of challenge, utilizing the different characters in your party in new and unique ways, mixing and matching combos, fighting off enemies with co-op. You know, if you wanted to, this could have been a co-op mission. It's crazy. It's genuinely crazy how badly Square or Crystal dropped the ball with the additional content for Avengers versus what's currently happening for a free-to-play game like Genshin Impact. I just think that's nuts. But if you're enjoying Avengers, more power to you. I just think that they could have done a lot more than what we currently have with it now. Let's see, yeah, Dead Wade 213, Guardians of the Galaxy game, Daredevil, and maybe Deadpool. Yeah, even Deadpool got his own standalone game. So I think there's an entire chance that a character like Black Panther or Daredevil or, you know, the Guardians or a better version of the Avengers game could easily happen one way or another. I would love to see something like that for sure. Whether or not that'll happen during E3, I don't know, but given what Eric was teasing, I do feel at least very confident that we'll see something of significance during the convention. And if that is Spider-Man 2, holy crap, then Insomniac are actual, like, legitimate, insane wizards, like sorcerers of the game development industry. I don't know how they can get away with doing all that all at the same time. If they do, though, that is insane. But, yeah, I'm curious to see exactly how it's all going to turn out. Let's see, let me get this small shaman, otherwise he's going to heal the hilly churl. Alright, let's get over here. Boom. Bam. Ganyu always helping out with the freezing with the enemies is fantastic. Which, by the way, I got Ganyu for free. No joke. That's actually insane. Not a lot of people have her, but I'm one of the lucky few who does. For free. If any of you guys play Genshin, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But yeah, very, very strange. You know, very, very interesting to see exactly what Marvel games it has up their sleeve. Will it be as exciting as previous E3s, like 2018 mainly, or 2016 even, with the, you know, the first reveal of Spider-Man PS4? Oh no! Oh god. Bro knocked off the hilly churl off the mountain. That's not good. See, sometimes when this happens, they fall off and then they lose the current amount of health they have now, and then they try to regenerate. So I don't. Oh god. Okay, so he's all the way down there now. He better not come back up here. Let's see. Don't run away. Great. Whew. All right, got him. Sheesh. Good job. Excellent. That was intense. Okay. And now the sun's back out. Great. So let me go here. Get my reward. What's going on here? Claim. Boom. Bam! Primo Gems and some Mora. Definitely needed that. Alright, let me see. Can I get Eula, boys? Fingers crossed. Let's see. I have one pull. No! Oh god. Sheesh! That was the wrong one. Let's try it here. For Eula. I doubt it. It's gonna be blue. Yep. Shouldn't have expected. Whatevs. Anyways, that's pain, but whatever. If it was someone like Rosaria, then I would be upset. Like, I gotta get Rosaria. But Eula, I don't mind missing. Out on her as a character. Alright, so did my side quests. Been streaming for almost an hour. We might do like a little bit more than 10, 20 minutes or so. I definitely won't be streaming for 2 hours. And Franco or Spidey Outcast or Ghosty, if you're here, I probably won't do a party, guys. Sorry, this is probably just very initial live stream talking about the news and giving my thoughts while playing this game and just elaborating upon the current situation at hand. If it's good, you know, that's up for you to decide, but for me, I'm kind of hesitant for No Way Home, but for the Marvel Games stuff, that is where it gets exciting. So I'm pumped for the Marvel Games news. If it is the fighting game from Netherrealm, great, I guess. I don't know if I'll be as excited for that one, but again, it's not any discredit to Netherrealm or Marvel. It's mainly because I just suck at fighting games. The Epic Nerd, what are your thoughts on the NR Marvel fighting game? Yeah, so again, I suck at Marvel fighting or suck at fighting games in general. Netherrealm's a great developer though. I'm not that big of a fan of Mortal Kombat though, I will say. I didn't even see the movie, so that should tell you all you need to know. But Ed Boon is very passionate about the stuff he works on. And Netherrealm is a very talented developer when it does come to crafting that type of fighting game experience that they do have. So I'm sure it will come out as a fine game. But as for like, I mean, I guess you guys can answer that for me and give your own opinions. Like, would a Marvel game, not a Marvel versus DC, but just a standalone AAA Marvel-only centric fighting game like Marvel Nemesis, aka the best Marvel fighting game ever made, I will take no other feedback from that because that's a fact. Would you be hyped for a Marvel Netherrealm? on a scale of 1 to 10, I would say I'd be like a 6 or a 7. And again, that's just because the genre of game that I like is different from a fighting game. So that's not to discredit NetherRealm, that's just my personal tastes don't align with that type of experience. Bad game. No, Blue Feral. No. How dare you? Again, Marvel Nemesis, Game of the Year 2005. I will take no other comments at this time because this is a fact that cannot be disputed, that is irrefutable, and is just flat out a perfect game. I don't know what you're talking about. So, no, yeah, Marvel and NetherRealm would be a great match. Whether or not I would be hyped for it is yet to be determined. I would have to see kind of what the exact occurrences would be for a Marvel game of that magnitude. Like, would it just be Marvel's Injustice? Like literally the exact same type of experience, or would they do something a bit different for Marvel? Because I really don't want it to be hero versus hero. Like, oh, evil Captain America, evil Iron Man, evil Spider-Man. Like, no, stupid. Like, I'm tired of that. Like, I'm tired of evil Superman. I'm tired of evil Wonder Woman. I don't like the hero versus hero stuff. I find it a bit lazy. So if they're able to do something a bit more unique and original with the story, then I'll be more happy to it. Let's see. Genshin made billions in a few months. It clearly is pleasing most people. Yes, it is. Number one, Spidey, you are correct. Again, I've been playing the game since... Actually, we can look. Because we can see when I unlocked Amber in the party, which is like the first character that you get by playing the game. So right there, October 11th, 2020, in the bottom right-hand corner is when I unlocked Amber, and she's like the first character you get when playing the game. I got Kaya a little bit afterwards because I just played the intro for a bit, and then I know you had to fight Storm Terror the Dragon, like after you did a couple tutorial stuff, but I took a couple days off, I think, to play Miles. Or no, that was October, so I was playing Spider-Man, I think, before to prepare for Miles. But I got Amber first because she's the first character you get no matter what, and then Kaya, and then Lisa obviously also comes afterwards, same date as Kaya, October 15th. But then I got all these other characters. I sadly still don't have Rosaria. Pain, because she's voiced by a great actress, Elizabeth Maxwell, and she speaks for herself there. But yeah, also, I don't have Diluc, Klee, or Child, sadly. Child's such a good character. He's super powerful, but I wasn't able to get him during his banner. Pain, but whatever. I don't mind not having Zhao or Hu Tao or Zhongli, because they're kind of like, more higher up characters, but I do at least want the epic characters, the purple ones. So I want Xiong Yun, and I want Rosaria. I have everyone else. Those are the only two I'm missing. The legendaries are kind of impossible to get, but that's how it is. I'm even shocked I got Yanfei, but again, I got Yanfei for free, so that's a pro gamer move if I've ever seen one. But yeah, we'll see how it goes for E3. Even I did a video, this morning I posted, if you haven't seen it, go watch it, about my current feelings on E3, whether or not you should be excited for the convention, if you're even hyped for the convention anymore. Even right now, on a scale of 1 to 10, how hyped are you for E3? I guess now knowing that Marvel games might show up in some capacity. Right now, before not knowing that Marvel games are there, I was probably like a 6. Now, with Marvel games being there, I'm like a 7 to an 8, like... possible, we don't know. Possible. Again, super slight possibility of us receiving a Spider-Man 2 teaser. I have no clue, but I do think either Avengers or Guardians of the Galaxy might appear during E3 in some way. I would love to see it. And just any Marvel game really that's not Avengers, I would most welcome. I would surely welcome it in one way or another. Because if they learn their lesson from Avengers, say, you know what, people really didn't like that, let's make something totally different, then I'm like, good. You learned your lesson, and the next games will be better off for it. So that's a huge plus, and we'll see whether or not they learn from it in any major capacity. But yes, I keep seeing Gil A7, Venom spinoff game. A Blade game would be cool AF. Yeah, that would be very interesting too. I'd be down. Would I prefer that over like a Daredevil game? Probably not, but a Blade game by itself would be very eventful, I think. I think that would be very cool to see vampires and Again, a main, person of color is the main protagonist. That was super important for a game like Miles Morales, to have Miles as the titular character, the main character of his own game. That's massive. And it's a launch title for the PlayStation 5, the full-on next-generation consoles. That's a huge plus for Sony, Marvel, and Insomniac. That's a major win for them, and I couldn't be happier. But a Blade, Daredevil, yeah, buddy, Franco, a Hulk, Ultimate Destruction-like game for next gen, yeah. That'd be sick. And also, just as a sidebar, I think it's safe to say that no matter what game it is, whether it's Guardians, if it's a new game, for example, so if it's Guardians of the Galaxy, Marvel Spider-Man 2, or the NetherRealm Marvel game, any one of those titles, if they're announced, I think it's safe to say that they will only be, and I'll bring this up in the video tomorrow too, they will only be next-gen exclusive. So Marvel Spider-Man 2 is obviously going to be a PlayStation 5 exclusive. Marvel Spider-Man 2 going to be PS5 exclusive. Marvel's Avengers, even though it's a cross-gen game, I think going forward they're mainly going to showcase this stuff running on next-gen. And also, Jesus, what's it called? The NetherRealm game, the NetherRealm Marvel fighting game, I think is only going to be developed on PS5 and Xbox Series X. So if that happens, fantastic. We will have to wait and see if it's worth it, if it's actually deserving of, like, oh, this is exactly what the power of next gen can do, because I think they released Mortal Kombat 11, right? They re-released it on the PS5 and Xbox Series X, and I never really saw any major difference. Like, if you guys saw the footage I put up yesterday for my E3 video, I showcased footage of me web-swinging in Miles Morales on my PS4 Pro. And you would not be able to tell. I mean, if you have a PS5, you probably would be able to tell. But that game, my God, looks so good, even currently on my current PS4 Pro. Same thing with the base, Spider-Man game. They still look absolutely insane. So I know there's a big visual difference, for sure, between the PS4 and the PS5, but it still looks gorgeous. So what I'm saying is I need Marvel Spider-Man 2, I need Marvel's Avengers with Black Panther and Spider-Man, and I need Guardians to show me exactly why they would necessitate a next-gen exclusive release. So not a cross-gen game like Miles Morales, not PS4 and PS5, only on Xbox Series X and PS5. I think that's going to be the future of gaming, and just a better product overall for the titles running exclusively on next gen. I hope they don't botch it, depending on whatever genre the game is, whether or not that's a live-action looter shooter, live service action-adventure looter shooter. Yeah, you know what? Actually, I take that back. It will be live action, because at this point in time, I don't know how the PS5 can really up itself in terms of visual quality unless it just ends up becoming live action, They're going to control real-life people. You're going to really be able to control Ben Jordan IRL when he's swinging around New York City instead of the character model. Why not? He'll go buck wild with that. No, but that'd be crazy to see. That's the PS6. Actually, so yeah, we'll see how that works out, but yeah, I'm curious. I'm curious to see exactly how that'll turn out, and whether or not it'll be worth it in the long run for these games to be next-gen exclusives, or it's like, you know what, that could have easily released on a PS4, because even like yesterday, if you saw the Horizon Forbidden West gameplay demo, looked insane running on a PS5, but remember, that game is still coming out on a PS4, but I am still of the camp of, I do not own a PS5, but I will gladly wait to play that game on that console for the best experience possible. Unlike Miles Morales, where I literally just played it day one because it's Spider-Man, so obviously I'm going to play it day one no matter what, but it's obviously going to be a better experience on PS5 versus PS4, but it's like, damn, if that game still looks just as good on PS4, Horizon Zero Dawn, and Horizon Forbidden West looks that good on PS5, what really is going to be the downgrade, quote-unquote, from one generation to the next? Is it going to be that significant? Like, obviously you won't get the DualSense and the ray tracing and all that, but really, visually, it still would look pretty darn good on PS4 regardless, because the PS4 Pro is a very well-made console in its own right. So if we see something like that, who knows, but I'm up for whatever occurrence may occur for a next-gen only superhero game, like currently what we're seeing with Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. That's a main example we can actually use as a reference because Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is only going to release on PS5 and Series X. So that's cool. Whether or not it will deserve it, that's to be, TBD, to be determined. But I think it's a good step in the right direction to see exactly how, like, yeah, we got to make use of these next-gen consoles. People are buying these next-gen consoles for a reason, so we got to make sure we incentivize people with our gaming product running exclusively on those platforms. So I'm excited as a gamer. Whenever I get my hands on a PS5, I can guarantee you I will surely do Let's Play videos or, live stream and gameplay videos and comparisons and detailed analysis of the remaster for Marvel Spider-Man and Miles Morales running on PS5. I can guarantee you that. But right now, I can't do anything about it, so I will just be playing games like Genshin and Miles on my PS4 and PS4 Pro, or for Spider-Man PS4, and Avengers whenever they reveal Black Panther for the game, and also include them for free as an update on PS4 and, PS4, and just as a free inclusion for the game. Kyle Acton, do you recommend this game? Yes, I do. Genshin Impact, I'm not even sponsored, by the way, which is hilarious, but Genshin Impact is great. Like, I genuinely love the grind of the game. It's fun. It's free to play, so you're not spending a single dime on it. You can unlock, crazy enough, think of this. What a shock. You can unlock good gear, suits, which in this game are characters, but they also are going to include alternate suits in the next patch, which is very exciting. For absolutely free! What a shock! For a free-to-play game, you can still unlock gaming items for free. What a surprise! So you don't have to worry about microtransactions unless you really, really, really want a character that you can easily unlock just by grinding. But if you want to get like the fast pass equivalent of it, like again those characters I showed on screen, mainly Rosaria, which is #1 waifu in the game, or also Ganyu, by the way. But a character like Ganyu, for example, is a perfect example for new coming Genshin players. Ganyu is a 5-star legendary character, so meaning she's very, 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 very rare to unlock unless you buy the microtransaction currency in the game for the several amount of prices. So I'll quickly show you. If I can go here, nope, that's not it. If I go here in the marketplace, pretty much the event shop or the banners to unlock characters, you have the shop right here where this is the currency. So you can, like, this is like the credits for Marvel's Avengers. So you can buy these, which are Primo Gems, pretty much, the Crystal Genesis, which turn into Primo Gems, and all these different types of currency to unlock certain characters, and just use that pretty much to turn it into currency to buy. So you see like $1, $5, $15, $30, $50, and $100 if you're crazy enough to do that. But again, it's a free-to-play game, so the game is kind enough to offer you all these characters to just, hey, keep playing the game, keep grinding, and eventually you may unlock one of those 4 characters. But for me, I just play the game, and I, use my Primo Gems whenever it happens to unlock characters. And what do you know? I just was lucky enough to acquire Ganyu in one of my polls, and she's great. And she's one of my favorite characters in the game. But if you want to keep unlocking more characters and level them up quicker, then you gotta keep playing. Just keep investing time and resources into the game. Not money, like real-life money, but the in-game resources like elemental ore and Mora and the talent tree stuff and the upgrade system and gear and talent, like all this stuff. So much variety when it comes to building up your characters in different and unique ways. So I'm a fan of it. This is exactly what Marvel's Avengers should have been. It wasn't, which is a massive bummer. And I don't like to see games fail, but Marvel's Avengers is a keen example of what not to do with that type of live service genre. So let's see, we just beat the Crystal Flower, the Ice Flower for Ganyu, and also for Kaya and Diona, because I do want to unlock their stuff. I'm close to leveling up, ranking up Chi-Chi, but I need more of the Violet Grass. Kaya needs one more! He needs one more to get to the next rank, which I do need. Although you can only face each boss once per day, so he's kind of done for now. Same thing with Diona. Sucrose is a fine character. I need more of the wind stuff to level her up. I guess I could do that. There's also Venti with the same thing. We'll do that, I guess. We'll do, you know what, we'll do a boss rush. So we're gonna do, let's see, I'm closest to wait, who am I closest to? I guess both, so I'm in between both. So right now I'll go here.
I'll do the Animo Archon boss and get some ranked up materials for Venti and Sucrose. But yeah, guys, that's kind of the news. You know, the No Way Home stuff I'm not looking forward to at all, with possibly returning Willem Dafoe and all this stuff, and the Sinister Six being formed of the other characters from the past movies, which is stupid, but if it happens, whatever. And then Marvel Games, pretty much confirmed at this point to be attending either E3 or Summer Games Fest, is hype. I'm excited. I can't wait. And it's like, what, a week or 2 weeks away? So I am very, very enthused, you know, hyped, amped, pumped, you know, heated up, whatever terminology you could use, adjective to install in there, for whatever Marvel Games has to offer, and I'm sure you are too. So again, leave a like if you are enjoying the stream and if you feel the same way I do about the news, or disagree. You know, we can have a civil discussion. Just let me know your thoughts. But now, I think since I went over the news, I will answer questions. So, and again, feel free to donate if you're so inclined to. I would appreciate it. It would also allow me to answer your question quicker if you feel the need to. So, you know, no pressure. Again, literally no pressure. Don't feel like you need to or anything. But whatever you feel like doing, do it. But, yes. Let me know, or if you have any questions about No Way Home, or the Marvel Games stuff, or E3, or Summer Games Fest, or even Genshin, you know, I'd be happy to answer all questions. My boy Blasty, everyone go follow and subscribe to Blasty. He's fantastic. He's currently playing my game of the year last year, Persona 5 Royal. Almost at the final boss in Persona 5 Royal. I got one more monster to beat, then I will beat the final boss. Now, Blasty, do you mean I don't want to spoil it for anyone who hasn't played Persona 5 Royal, but there's kind of a difference in perspective there. Do you mean the final boss of Mementos, quote-unquote, or the final boss of the third semester? You know? Because if you're in the third semester right now, then you are not ready. But if you're in the Memento section, then get ready, because you've still got, I think, a couple stuff left to experience. Azriel Perez, do you think Marvel Spider-Man 2 will be Insomniac Games' final Spider-Man game? Azael, sorry. Come on, bro. Really? No. That's a flat-out no. I think it's guaranteed this is going to be a trilogy plus Miles, since it's a spin-off game. It's not a, you know, like a sequel, but it is still part of that franchise. So, no. No, not a chance. Are you kidding me? Especially after the mess of sales and financial profit that was wasted on Marvel's Avengers? No. Especially since Spider-Man PS4 is $1 billion property? No. Spider-Man PS4, the Insomniac trilogy, or your franchise, I should say. It's not even a trilogy. It's a franchise of Spider-Man games from Insomniac. Is everlasting. It is huge. We're going to get the sequel, with Peter and his story continuing with the black suit, most likely. And then, I think it's pretty sure that, the third game after the sequel is going to happen probably, at this point, maybe 2024 or 2025, maybe. That's way in advance, though, you know. So, but for the Marvel Spider-Man 2, what we're calling it right now is the official sequel. We don't know, you know, if it's called Marvel Spider-Man Dark Reign or Marvel Spider-Man Venom or whatever, you know, whatever it is. The official sequel, we don't know the title. That game is going to happen, and then another game will follow it up afterwards. Let's see. Bill Dozer, Avengers needs more game modes like Hordes, Defense, Stealth, or single-player investigations. What do you think? Perfect suggestions. Absolutely agree. That's exactly what Genshin is doing. If you guys have seen the recent update trailer for patch 1.6, which is coming in like the next couple weeks or so, or next week or something, they're having like an entire different event where you can like ride like a boat in the ocean, go on a different island, unlock skins, play co-op, different bosses. So many varieties, so many game modes, unique events, and challenges that gain you, rewards that are important, that make you unlock new characters, that make you feel like you're progressing through the game without having to pay a single cent for the gacha system. It's a perfect system. It's a perfect system for a live service game that this could have easily been. This could have easily been, no doubt about it, a fully priced AAA live service game like Destiny or Anthem. But they did it for free. And instead they just say, hey, if you want to spend money, to unlock these characters, you can. But if you don't, then just play the game and you unlock them down the line. It'll take, it'll take a lot of time for sure. You'll have to keep spending hours upon hours of playing through this, like the bosses I'm facing, the events, unlocking characters. But hey, it's worth it. You're making progress. You're gaining new members. You're unlocking their skill trees. Harnessing new abilities. Enjoying a great story, exploring the open world, getting collectibles, like all this stuff I'm listing. I can keep going. I can keep going, and it will never stop because of how well structured and well designed the game is. It's so good. And yeah, that's the fault of Square Enix and Crystal Dynamics making Avengers literally just a Destiny clone. They could have taken that formula of Destiny or Anthem and say, you know what, let's take that but improve upon it. But no, instead they just did a one-for-one copy without any innovation of it whatsoever, and that is the biggest, I would think, flaw of the game. They didn't innovate. Whereas Spider-Man, PS4 with its open world structure, they innovated in the sense of the story, the visuals, the quality of the cinematics, and the gameplay variety, seamlessly transitioning from the gameplay to the cinematics or vice versa. The combat is fun and innovative. It really plays to Insomniac's strengths of the gadgets and Spider-Man as a character. It's fluid, it's fast, it's fun, it's gorgeous, because it plays to the strengths of a character like Spider-Man. And that's why people love it so much, and they're hyped for more of the games from Insomniac with Spider-Man compared to like Guardians right now. I did a poll on Twitter asking would you guys be excited for a AAA Eidos Montreal developed, Square Enix published Guardians of the Galaxy game? And a majority of people said no. I think there was like 55% yes, and the other percentage was no. So really close to being half and half for that poll, but it's not doing it like, yes, like, oh my god, Marvel Spider-Man 2, are you excited? Yeah, everyone's excited for Marvel Spider-Man 2. But that same reception is not being well received for the current reputation that Square Enix has, given the overall lack of success that has been made for Avengers, for that game and what it stands right now. And seeing that they're in this multi-year, multi-game partnership with Marvel Games, that has a lot more caution for the future of their product before we knew about the full reveal that might happen this year for Guardians at E3 versus just being like a leak. So that's kind of what they need to focus on right now. Let's see. Franco, what mode are you going to do for the remaster? Do you mean me? I've already told you, I think, but also for you in the chat who are watching and don't know. So there's performance mode, fidelity mode, or performance RT mode. So performance is 60 FPS, greatness, so for a smoother experience, which is the gameplay mode that I always opt for. I opt for the better frame rate versus the resolution, because you barely notice the difference unless you're looking at it from a magnifying glass perspective. The ray tracing, though, is very obvious in the PS5 because you see literal reflections in puddles and the windows on buildings for the city, which are gorgeous to look at. But then mainly the one I'm choosing is Performance RT mode, which is the best of both. So you have performance with 60 FPS frame rate and ray tracing reflections for the graphic quality, which should be the norm, by the way, for all next-gen games on the PS5. That shouldn't be an option. That should well, I guess it's good to have an option, but that shouldn't be like, oh, are we going to get that mode? No, that should be a mode for every game going forward on next-gen. Let's see. Jason Rojo, have you played Final Fantasy VII Remake? No, because I am waiting for Intergrade, which is the pretty much definitive edition for the game on PS5, where it's going to come out with better visuals, complete, the complete experience, and the Yuffie DLC with, Sonon Kusakabe and, Yuffie and that whole narrative storyline and some cool different boss stuff. So that'll be like my first mainstream Final Fantasy game, I guess, besides Final Fantasy 15 to play, because I've never played, the original Final Fantasy 7. I've always heard about it and seen gameplay videos, but I never played it for myself. And even though it came out on the PlayStation 4, now I felt the need to go get it, especially since my Game of the Year came out with Persona 5 Royal in March of 2020, and then Final Fantasy 7, funny enough, came out on my birthday, April 10th, 2020. So only like a week after Persona 5. So I just spent $60 on that game. So like, you know what? I don't want to spend more money right now on Final Fantasy VII. I'll wait for like a definitive edition or whatever. It's like, oh, well, now you can get the full game and Yuffie DLC. So it's like, why not? It's like, oh, that's a great deal. So I will wait. I'll enjoy the full thing on next gen with PS5, and it will probably be a very fun experience. Let's see. Lamaz, no offense to FF Games, but why are they remastering the same game like 100 times? Just asking. Do you mean... Oh, you mean like, so why are, like, you know, there's Final Fantasy 15, Final Fantasy 16, Final Fantasy 2506, you know, I know what you mean. Because they all flow together in a similar fashion. I know what you mean, but Final Fantasy 7 is like the only exception, because that's like the one that a lot of people say is like, that's the best Final Fantasy game, and I do see why. But, yeah, they just go off the walls all the time with some of those games. And it's very hard to get interested into the game with its lore and stuff if you're not fully diving in deep with the story. Yeah, I was never drawn to Final Fantasy as much as I was compared to, like, a game which I did recently buy of Mass Effect. I'm currently playing the Mass Effect Legendary Edition on my PS4. Oh my god! Holy smokes, this freaking thing just drilled Bennett. That sounded dirty, but he did just murder him. I just revived him, so let me get back to full health. My poor boy. How dare you? But yeah, you know, I get what you mean. But yeah, I don't know. And even Final Fantasy 16, I think, is set to be a PS5 exclusive. So yeah, that's going to be intense to see exactly how far they'll go with their deal with Sony and Square Enix for those games. Franco, besides both Spidey games, other than on PS5, I think I missed your question, but I think you were going to ask what other games would I like to play on PS5, besides Spider-Man, obviously. So, really quick, Atlas, I think, is also having their anniversary, the developers of Persona 5, or just the Persona series, and Catherine, great game. Definitely played it if you haven't already. They're having their 25th anniversary, I think, this September. So there's already been like a website forum document saying, like, licensed things about certain gaming products that are there on their website, and they put up pretty much like P5AU something, and then P5U. So, like, another iteration of Persona 5, which a lot of people are thinking Persona 5 Arena, which they did do for Persona 4 Arena, which is a fighting game. So if they do like a Persona 5 fighting game, I would be instantly buying that and playing Franco in it, and Blasty probably too, instantly in online matches. I would love to do that. I'm maining Joker no matter what. Or Haru, actually. Or if she's in it, Kasumi. I also would main her for sure, for obvious reasons. Or P5U. So P5A would probably be like Arena Ultimax, which is like what they did P5 or P4AU, which was Persona 4 Arena Ultimax, which is like the definitive fighting game iteration for Persona 4, which would be cool to see for Persona 5. But there's also P5U, which could be like Persona 5 Ultimate, which what I'm hoping for, to answer your question, Franco, I hope to God they release like a native PS5 iteration of Persona 5 Royal, like enhanced ray tracing, DualSense capabilities, 60 FPS frame rate, you know, better graphic quality, all the DLC that comes with Royal, and put it on PS5. I would cry. I would buy that in a heartbeat, and if they do reveal that during their 25th anniversary, I'm getting that no matter what as a PS5 game. Other games, probably, again, Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade with Yuffie, that'd be cool. I don't really want to get Last of Us Part 2, sorry. I think the story for that game is god-awful, and I would not waste my time with it. Playing it, I guess, backwards compatible on PS4, even though they released a PS5 patch for the game. It's not necessarily a PS5 game, per se. I would also, though, play Horizon Forbidden West, which is going to be a cross-gen game like Miles Morales, but I would wait for that game for PS5 to truly just immerse myself in the best possible way for that game franchise into next gen. So I would be totally down for that. I would love to see it, or play it on PS5, and whatever happens with that game down the line, I'd be totally in the mood for whatever happens next. Come on, wait! Yes! Did I get it? I did. Nice. Usually I always mess up those three squares. Blasty, so is Catherine Full Body the remastered version of the original Catherine? So it's like the Royal. It's like Persona 5 Royal, but for Catherine. It's literally that exact same thing. So there's a new character in the game, like Kasumi and Maruki are only in Persona 5 Royal. You know, they're not in the base Persona 5 game. So Catherine Full Body has Catherine with a C, who's the blonde girl, Catherine with a K, who's like the main love interest for Vincent, that he was with before. You know, he met the other Catherine. And then, weirdly, Rin, or Catherine with a Q, with the pink hair. So it's a completely new love interest and side storyline for that game, which enhances the experience even more. And it includes new gameplay mechanics, which were not in the main game initially, which is very cool, and polished visuals and stuff like that. So I love it. Atlas are so smart with their games. Great single player stories, and they just they shower you in content. They shower you with new side missions, new characters, new love interests, new combat abilities, new gameplay mechanics, new graphic quality updates. It's so good. Blasty, wait, so Kasumi wasn't in the original Persona 5... Well, no, so Kasumi Kasumi and Maruki are only in Persona 5 Royal, but they're not in the base Persona 5 when that came out in 2017, which was when that game first came out. So they do have heavy story inclusion for Royal, but are not at all even seen. They don't exist in the base Persona 5 game, which is why I love Royal so much, because it's just more good stuff. It's more character interactions, more story inclusions, more character interactions, more gameplay mechanics, better graphics, DLC, with costumes and stuff, if you want to wear alternate suits in the metaverse when you're fighting people. So good. God, just talking about it makes me want to play Persona 5 Royal right now. Or Strikers. Let's see. Jason Rojo. Hey, Evan, a different question for you. Have you been able to watch the Snyder Cut of Justice League? Yes, I did. And funny enough, I watched it on my birthday this year. So April 10th, 2021, I turned 23 years old in 2021 on April 10th. And for my birthday, because I kind of held off watching the Snyder Cut when it first came out, I didn't really like the main Justice League movie, and I love Man of Steel. I liked Batman vs Superman, but I wasn't one of those release the Snyder Cut, release the Snyder Cut. I wasn't one of those fanatics, so I just kind of I won't really waste my time with the Snyder Cut, and I don't have HBO Max, so why not? And then, on my mom's own fruition, she also watches a lot of TV. She herself, regardless of being at my birthday, she said, oh, I got HBO Max to kind of upgrade our TV plan. So it's oh, well, now we can actually watch the Snyder Cut, since that's on HBO Max. She's oh, what's that? It's oh, it's the, definitive edition of the Justice League movie that came out. It's oh, well, maybe for your birthday. Oh, yeah, sure. So she and I just kind of watched it together on my birthday, which was fun. And I liked it. I really, really liked it. It's not no, the Traveler. Shoot, Lamine, she's gone. Damn, I gotta save her. I was not in the camp of God, this is a masterpiece of cinema. This is so good. The Snyder Cut is better than literally everything that's ever released ever in the history of the world. No, I'm just that was a much better movie than the Whedon cut, the main version of the movie in 2017. And that's about it. Again, I'm a gamer at heart. I'm not really a movie goer as much, or a cinephile, a movie mastermind fan, when it comes to films. That's why oh, Far From Home actually is awful. And that's it. I won't be Far From Home is so bad because John Watts doesn't understand the character and all that. That is part of it, but it's I'm not going to go and make a whole video essay or something about, a movie. Whereas a game, hell yeah, because there's so much to dive into. And I can prove that because Blasty knows this, and Franco knows this, and Andrew knows this, and Spidey Outcast, is that I, for my college course for City College San Francisco, where I'm currently attending, is CCSF, I did for my, final semester exam, final exam for my class, we had to type in our thesis paper pretty much. So I did a write-up, 5-page plus paper for one of my classes. I had to write more stuff for other classes, adding up to 20 pages, but it was different subject material for different topics, which some of you won't find that interesting. It relates to like criminals in prison and also like the judicial system and American government and politics and how that's affecting people imprisoned in certain modern day facilities, so all that boring crap. But mainly for one of my classes was for rhetoric of popular culture. So it's about how we can utilize pop culture material like Spider-Man, like Genshin Impact, like Persona, and really dive deep into the philosophical aesthetic about it in real life. So I actually, which I won't spoil here because Blasty has not beaten the game yet, I broke down in my own analytical way and philosophical perspective the third semester for Persona 5 Royal, because there's something happens in that game that's different than the base Persona 5. So in the third semester, which that's not a spoiler for Blasty because you would know that in Persona 5 Royal there's a whole, additional content, so there's a whole new semester of the school life you do in the game that is not in the base game. So in that story, if you guys have played Persona 5 Royal, you know exactly what I'm talking about. There's something very, very emotional and impactful and meaningful that occurs during the third semester. And I wrote a whole paper about it. So, and my teacher was blown away. He gave me 100% credit, A+. So, of course, not to brag, but whatever. It's mainly because I love that game, and it's so good what they do with the narrative aesthetic of the characters and the story evolution from the base game, and what they did to expand upon it in Royal is phenomenal. And again, that the reason why Royal is my game of the year for last year versus Miles Morales is because of the story, of the additional narrative that was told with the characters and the third semester as a whole. And just, again, more soundtrack pieces and better gameplay mechanics and evolving what was already great for the first game. So, oof, so good, so good. I love the game. Again, would highly recommend playing it, even if, again, Persona 5, so you're probably thinking, well, should I play Persona 1 through 4 first? 1 through 4 first? No, because it's just like Final Fantasy. You can literally just play whichever installment you want to because it's a completely separate storyline each time. And if you're playing Persona for the very first time, period, I would say choose Persona 5 Royal as your first game. Not Persona 5, the main game, but Persona 5 Royal. Let's see, Blasty. Oh, if I had to go the original Persona 5, I would have been at the ending, but since I got Royal, I'm about to see extra content. Exactly, Blasty, exactly. So I don't know where you are, so I don't want to spoil anything for you in case you're at a certain point and haven't seen something. But right now you said you're at the Mementos boss, quote unquote. So yes, there is more to explore afterwards if you're playing Royal, which you are, and if you have maxed out the confidant rank, which I do think you did. You told me of some of the waifus, but also with Maruki, with Dr. Maruki, and also Akechi and Kasumi. Those are the three confidants that you have to max out to unlock the third semester. So, mainly I think Kasumi and Maruki. I'm not sure about Akechi, but if you do, Akechi's very, his confidant's very important, so maxing him out is very relevant to stuff, which I won't spoil. But yeah, let's see. Blasty, I need to beat one more monster, then I will be fighting him. I also got Hifumi to be my gift as well. Great job, great job. Gil AA7, Evan, I got bit by a spider. What do I do? Well, first you gotta fight a bully in school, and then you have to say you don't want to fight him, and then if he says you don't want to fight me neither, then do a backflip over him, snap his wrist, and then punch him 10 feet across the room. That is exactly how you should handle your spider bite. Don't disinfect it. Just do some parkour over some buildings, and you're good. Try and stick to walls and see if that works. And I think you'll be fine. I think you're in for a real treat. No, but I'm sorry to hear that if it hurt. But I think you'll be okay. I remember I stung, by numerous mosquitoes and bug bites several times, and it's not fun. But yeah, spiders are not nature's friend. No, that's not That's not ideal for anyone, I would say, at all. It's up. Oh, I thought I had to go down for a second, but the ore I'm trying to mine right now is up. All right, let's see. I'm going to choose Lumine. I can't... Well, maybe I can go up here. Let's see. You know what? I might use Venti to cross this gap. Franco, you still going to do a live reading your essay? Yes, bud. Yes. And Blasty, yes, I do have Persona 5 Strikers. I got it. Again, that currently is my game of the year 2021 is Persona 5 Strikers. So Persona 5 remains superior in every way for me. Persona 5 Royal was my game of the year 2020, and currently right now, Persona 5 Strikers is my game of the year for 2021. Franco, yes, although it's not like a live reading what you're thinking, so it's not like a live stream what you're seeing right now, but I will do it in a way of like an edited, properly read, almost like audiobook, pretty much, where, as I said, I wrote a 5-page plus long essay for the finale, I'll say, of Persona 5 Royal. It has major spoilers, so I won't say anything about it now. But, okay, where's this ore? It says it was up, and now it's saying it's down. So I have no... Oh, there it is. Jesus, I had no idea where I was going. So, the game has been out for over a year now, Persona 5 Royal, so I think it should be okay to talk about spoilers, but I know Persona 5 isn't as well known of a game series as, like, Spider-Man or Avengers. And mainly for my audience, mainly we're all superhero game fans, so I know not a lot of you guys have even played the game or heard of it, but it's a really, really amazing story, and I wrote a paper about it, so I'm pretty much what Franco is indicating. I'm going to make an edited video with, you know, cuts and stuff, and footage, and proper background music to set the stage, pretty much, for what I'm talking about. Reading my essay about the finale for Persona 5 Royal, and just analyze it from a very analytical, philosophical, and critical perspective, and just saying why this story is so good and really important, mainly nowadays in our society. It's not like anything topical, like I would say, like what Miles was doing with Black Lives Matter, where they literally have a Black Lives Matter mural in Miles Morales, and also that scene on the bridge where they had the rock song guards about to shoot the civilians on the bridge, like, put that phone away now, it's like, get off of here, you know, like, it's like, that was very timely, especially when the game came out, which was very, you know, very important for Insomniac to do, which I really appreciated them doing that in the game. It was very powerful to see, but it really spoke to me more so on a personal level with Persona 5 Royal and its ending, and its finale with the third semester stuff, because holy smokes, like, if you thought the main ending for Persona 5, the original ending was good, like, this one, you know, tugs on your heartstrings for this finale one. Most emotional I've ever been in a game is with Peter versus Doc Ock in Spider-Man PS4 and Aunt May's death. I cried like 3 times, I think, when playing that game. Beating it, I should say. But Persona 5, I was like an emotional wreck for like a solid hour while playing it. And then even after, when I beat the game, like, I can't believe this game is over right now. Don't let it end. I want more, please. But yeah, it was a journey for sure, and I loved playing through it as much as I did, because it was phenomenal. All right, so we did all the side missions for today, guys. I did my daily quests. I beat some bosses. I used my resin. I don't think I have any more in stock, do I? No, so I don't have any more, you know, fragile resin to use to beat bosses. We beat the Animo Archon boss, or the, not Archon, but the Hypostasis. We did the giant flower one, I forget the name of it. We did the Electro one, and we did a couple of Leyline Blossoms to get some XP and Mora. So that's great. I pretty much did everything I wanted to do for today. In the stream, we covered the Spider-Man No Way Home news. We covered the Marvel Games news, which, again, expect a full video from me about that tomorrow. I will try and work on it later today and then post it in the morning tomorrow on Saturday, which is going to be fun. And if you're excited, again, leave a like on the stream and leave a like in the video that I did today about E3. And also tomorrow, just liking very much helps the videos gain traction from the stupid YouTube algorithm. I don't like asking for likes because I'm sure you're smart enough and I respect you guys well enough to do so on your own terms. But if you do appreciate whatever I do here on the channel or like what you're seeing, a like on the video would be fantastic. So let's see, a couple more questions before we head off. Blasty, Sai Ninja Palace music is so good. Yes, dude! Oh, the whims of fate may hold... I can't even sing. I don't want to even sing that song, but, you know, what? Like, yeah, like, the whims of fate. Oh, so good. I can't even... Oh, man. You're making me want to play Persona 5 Royal. Blasty. Man, it's hurting my soul that I'm not playing that game right now. Lamaz. Hey, Evan, I'm excited to see your Marvel Spider-Man 2 reaction. Make the glass shatter. Thank you very much, Lamaz. I'll definitely record my reaction during E3 if anything of major significance happens from Marvel games. However, I will say in advance, if it is like something we are all expecting, like a Black Panther gameplay trailer, or if it is Spider-Man for the Avengers, then I might do a reaction for it, but it's like, hey, this is a character we've already seen in the game numerous times, and it's a character we're still waiting for ever since they first showed the damn roadmap in, what was it, February or March, whenever it was? So, God, we're still waiting for Black Panther after all this time. So I won't probably react to it live with a recording for Black Panther, but if, of course, Spider-Man 2 is revealed there, if the Guardians game is revealed there, or if Spider-Man and Avengers is revealed there, then sure, I will do a live, I'll record my live reaction for those instances. And, it sucks because I'm live streaming through my PS4 Pro, but I've never really been able to successfully record a live stream through my laptop since my internet is so awful. So that's why you never really see me do a live stream through my laptop going over this news with the articles at hand on screen, for example, with No Way Home or Marvel games, because I can't do it. I don't have a proper setup. My overall online setup is not well suited for live streaming, just in general. And where my house and how it's structured, there's no like gaming room setup. I literally just play games in my living room with my family's TV. So that's how it is now. Gil, AA7, I was thinking more of a street performance in the advanced suit. I will see you there. Times Square, by the way. Absolutely. You can bet on me for sure to be there. David Ramirez, had a great time, looking forward to future videos. Have a great rest of your day, and thank you, David. I very much appreciate your support. And again, huge shout out to my buds and mods. I think if Blasty isn't a mod, I'm going to make you a mod right now. But mods and fellow just YouTubers and content creators, just amazing people in general, is Blasty Games, Franco Greco, Spidey Outcast, Ghosty, if they're there, great. Fantastic. So... let's see. Oh, wait. Oh, Blasty. Oh, yeah. So I should probably clarify. I haven't gotten Akechi to Confidant rank 10. I don't know if he's going to come back, which I don't think he will. If not, then I will make another file. So, Blasty, you're absolutely correct, because I forgot, actually. It's weird because, there's different ranking numbers for each character, right? So, if you want to unlock the final semester, the third semester for Persona 5 Royal, you have to get Kasumi to rank 5, Confidant rank 5, which should be pretty easy. Akechi to Confidant rank 8, I forgot, because I know if you're in,
rabbit.
well, I don't know what rank you've got him to, but I know they have, like, certain, blockades set at different elements of their Confidant rank, so, it should be at, rank 8, I think? Or 10, I forget, how that goes. Or, wait a minute. Or, actually, I forget. Something should have been rank 8. And then I know you can only get him to rank 8 when talking to him, but with Akechi, and when I'm assuming you've done, so now you're about to fight the Mementos boss. So you fought Akechi during that sequence on the ship, on Shido's ship. That should have gotten him to rank 10. I think. So, yeah, that might be a problem. But we'll again, I think the main ones are Kasumi and Maruki for their max confidence. So Maruki has to be at rank 10 for sure, no matter what, and then Kasumi has to be at rank 5 before you get to the finale of Royal, I believe. Pretty sure. There's a lot to that game, so I hope I'm describing it properly. Resident Evil player, Evan, can I join the session with people in Genshin Impact? No, dude, I'm sorry, because we've been streaming for almost 2 hours, and I haven't really eaten, so I'm going to go get something to eat. But maybe next time for sure. Bill Dozer, on the Avengers side, I think it's just gonna be another Black Panther trailer, maybe patrol footage Fun stream as always. Thank you, Bill. I very much appreciate your support is always welcome, and it means a lot to me, so thank you. Yeah, I mean, on the roadmap, we have 3 more things. We have the Monica Rappaccini villain sector. Hooray, I guess. And we have the Wasteland Patrol mode, which is odd. And then Black Panther, which everyone wants to see main stuff for. So, yeah, it could be either probably the Patrol footage, Monica Rappaccini villain sector, or Black Panther for Avengers, or Spider-Man as well. Which, again, I think he's going to release this year in December to tie in with the release of No Way Home. That would be a great way to kind of connect them together. And if they're smart enough, they'll include the MCU suits for Spider-Man in Avengers, or whatever new costume he'll have in No Way Home in the Avengers version of Spider-Man. So we'll see what happens. But yes, alright guys, I think I've seen enough questions. If I didn't get to your name or shout you out or answer a question, I apologize. I try my best during these streams, but I'm a one-man show here. I don't have anyone next to me helping me read the questions. I know Franco and Blasty do their best to highlight stuff, and also Ghosty and Spidey Outcast. But like as another person here, literally right next to me reading stuff for me, I don't see anything like that, sadly. But again, I will get better at doing streams in the future. More videos to come from me. Get hyped. If you're excited for E3, get even more hyped. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Blasty playing more Persona 5 is fantastic. Go follow him on Twitter. Same thing with Franco and Spidey Outcast and Ghosty and just everyone in this stream that popped up. Thank you guys so much. And until next time, everybody, stay awesome, true believers, and stay merry Marvelites, and stay awesome, gamers. Peace out.